Hello, everybody. Welcome to Zeit for Support. Today we'll focus on some features that we recently released, and I'll go over, everything you can do, everything that might be of interest to you. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know where you're from in the chat. This is a live webinar, so as usual, grab a coffee with me and let's just, look at some of the new features that you can use in your day-to-day workflow. This is mainly geared to support teams, but it also works for other scenarios like IT, product, engineering. So yeah, can't wait to dive into the features. So I'll leave a minute, I think, just to get people. Everybody just got the notifications, so might take a minute or two for people to join. I still haven't checked how we can do elevator music, but at some point we'll get there. All right. I think I will get started. There will be a recording of this presentation. So anyone that missed it, or if you want to ever go back to some specific slides, feel free to just rewatch the recording. You'll get an email at the end with the recording link. So today the theme is Zeit for support teams. I think most of you that registered probably know what Zeit is. The one sentence, recap is it's an AI hub for smarter work. So it's all about productivity, video workflows, and we do that through many different features. But what we can help you do is really send videos, receive videos from customers. So really send videos to your customers, receive videos from customers. Today we will actually, oh, I did not remove the coming soon. Today we will actually focus on requesting videos and requesting logs from customers, which is a use case that often happens for support teams. So if you're here today, you probably work in support. Support is facing a lot of different challenges. So support teams, all the ones I talk to. So I'm in product. I talk to support teams daily. All the scenarios we've seen are basically regarding, collecting some information from your customers, getting enough information so you can resolve the issues that they might be having much faster. However, there is a lot of back and forth. If you talk to anyone, we're all human. There is a lot of back and forth, clarification questions. So that's a lot of time wasted for your metrics. We also found that it's quite hard to collect diagnostic info. So this is what today is about. If you work again in support, engineering, IT, you probably need to get more info from your customers, which will help your team resolve their issues faster. We also found that there was a lot of time wasted in manual work, so like creating docs, all automating a lot of different tasks. All of this is manual, and support docs takes too long to create. This is less the focus of today's webinar, but this is something that I'm happy to touch on if you have questions in the chat. It's a live webinar. So we quickly, basically, we have a feature called Zeit AI, and from a video, we can generate support docs. So if you haven't seen it, feel free to even mention it. I'm happy to spend a minute on it. But it's a whole process that should help you reduce time to resolution, and it's something that currently is quite manual. Let's go through one example. So this is a real world support scenarios that I'm using. I've seen this 1,000 times. Let's say a customer reaches out to you and it's, hi, I have a login issue. That's it. So this happens quite a lot, not just for login, but for most issues. And this is the kind of scenario that we're trying to optimize for. So let's say Mike here, we're asking which browser operating system they were using. Then you might ask for more information, and they might give you vague answer or the same answer because they're frustrated. They're in a frustrated state, and you're asking them all of these questions, and they don't know what to do. So this is all the different lessons that we got into all of the support workflows, which is the more context you capture early, the better it is for a quick ticket resolution. This is where AI comes handy. There is so many talks about AI in the support world, AI in automation. I feel like one of the most concrete scenarios is support ops. How do you handle common tickets? How do you make sure that the knowledge base is up to date, everything is up to date? And there is also a lot of paperwork in regarding documenting what's happening, passing it off to your support team. So our solution to this, and basically the what I'm gonna go demo to you today, is a new workflow that we're proposing that I think could help you. And regardless of Zide or support teams, it's really something that we think is worth solving. And with the tech we have today, I'm sure we can reduce a lot of the back and forth and speed up your team, improve CSAT. Um, and yeah, so two features that will be talked about and that I want to just define really quickly. Request video. So this is a feature that we released recently. We talked about it in many webinars. So if you've been a Zite follower, I will not bore you with too much detail, but really what's useful for you today. So requesting video is basically a feature that we released that lets you generate a link that you send to your customers. Your customers will be able to click on the link, create a recording in a matter of seconds, just talk through the issue. And then in your Zendesk or in your CRM, you will get back the link of that video. So that removes the need for your customers to install a video. That removes the need for your customers to install an app, create an account, just to send you what they're seeing on their screen. And the second step to this is basically a feature related to request video, data logs. This is really adding another layer to request video where we can add a lot of technical context. So you can escalate to tier 2, tier 3 without the need for your customers to do anything. So again, this is all about speed of triage. This is all about reducing ticket volume from repeating the same things over and over again. And it improves everybody's efficiency. So let's go back to Mike's scenario. And if he comes in with, hey, I tried to log in, it keeps spinning, I have an issue. What you can ask your customer now is basically say, can you please click on this link, start your screen recording, and then we'll have everything we need. So Mike gets the link. Here is what he's gonna see. So he's gonna open a video. This is, by the way, something that can be really customized. So here we took Shopify as an example, but you could actually put the Shopify logo here, Shopify domain. So it doesn't look like a random third-party tool. They don't need to know about Zite. They can just get on and get started on their recording. So the link that Mike sees is just the support team needs your help with a short video. It's a two-step process. One, it's going to open the web page that they need you to record. And two, you're going to just click on start recording. So really a simple two-step process. We've made, we've had many users use it, many tests, and it's fairly bulletproof. And that's really what we're trying to do, so you don't have to explain your customers a lot of things. So here you can see that a page is not loading, the customer is having an issue. But what you see from your end as an agent is the video of the error. So if there was an error message popping up, for example, you might see it. Plus, you will be able to collect the logs here. So you can see download logs. Currently, you have to download the logs. However, we will, in the next few months, have a way for you to just click on a link and view them on a website. So this is really definitely something coming soon. So the logs today collect your system specs. So what size of screen? Did they have two screen? If they're on PC, sometimes people have external GPUs, network issues. So you can really just get all the information you need in one link. Um, what's if you want to go further? So again, I'm really trying to focus on like support workflows. What about chatbots? What about all of the other ways you can collect information from customers? So the chatbots are actually a good way. You know, we don't provide our own chatbot at Zeit, but we support many chatbots that are out there, like Ada, Fin, a lot of different chatbots that you can install in your help desk. So you connect it to your knowledge base. You then, have your customers talk to that chatbot. We can then integrate in it. I think I have an example here. We can then integrate in it. So this is an example from Ada. We're using Ada at Zeit, and you can see that if a customer comes through the chat instead of a support agent conversation, they can just start talking about the issue they're having. The chat can decide to send a link at the end of the conversation, and then you will right away get everything you need to troubleshoot. So this is all about having more steps for debugging, so your team in engineering QA can quickly just see what's going on. One detail that I actually forgot to mention is that these videos, if you're part of Zad AI, get an AI summary. So I will get in the demo really shortly, but we will soon add the video link, an AI summary, and a link to download the logs. So from your Zendesk conversation, you can straight up start a workflow, start a macro, and just share those details to other tools. So I mentioned about chatbots. Chatbots are a really common way for you to talk to your customers. Support forms. Another scenario that I think could be improved in most most help centers, help desk, is the way you get web forms. So today it's a lot of generic forms, like what's your email, what's the subject, what's the topic. A lot of the times everybody has slightly different naming. But one thing that can really speed up that workflow is adding video in the support form. What this would do is your customers would click on start recording, and then we would add the link of the video to the description. So this greatly speeds up the resolution time, because instead of having Mike send a message saying I have an issue with login, and then 3 days later you ask, great, can you add more information? If you had the video right away, maybe you can skip straight up to escalation or straight up to letting them know what's going on. So this is a brand new feature. We released it, I think, in the past 2 weeks. We have it live on our own support portal. And if you want it integrated into yours, feel free to let us know in the comments, or later on I'm going to share an email. So how do you get started? Lots of features. How do you get started with having those links that collect both the video and the logs? Fairly simple. There are 3 steps, I would say. First, you can install Zeit for Zendesk in the Zendesk Marketplace. It's available. We got some great feedback from it. You can just install it for all your agents. Also, I wrote coming soon, Intercom. We actually submitted our Intercom integrations. So within the next few days, it should be live. You heard it here first. I will demo it to you in a few minutes. The second step is setting up the workflow. When I say workflow, once you have the Zeit app installed in Zendesk or Intercom, you then need to go back to Zeit on the integrations page and just click on setting up Zendesk. So this will basically make sure that whenever you send a video link and you get a reply, it gets brought back to the Zendesk or Intercom ticket and reopens that ticket. So this is really, I think, so the whole loop is closed. You just need to set up a workflow. I will share that in a minute. And there's a snippet on your website if you want to collect the logs. So this is an optional feature. This is a feature we have on our enterprise plans. So if you want some access or if you want a trial, I will again share with you an email at the end of the presentation, and you'll be able to just get started, try it out, and let us know. All right, so let me show. I think let's jump straight into the demo. This is what everybody I think prefers. So first, let me show you how to get started. So I will log into my Zeit account. It won't be long. Okay. All right. This is my Zeit account. I started doing some screenshots about the Louvre. So this is my Zeit account. So you can go here on the left to integrations. And you can see two things. You can see the integrations workflows at the top, and you can see the integrations apps at the bottom. Very confusing, but this is how most integrations work. You need to first install the app. So for Zendesk, and really soon for Intercom, this just brings you to the Intercom marketplace, and then go back to that page and just install the workflow. So when you click on manage, basically what this does is you need to just configure what you want. Like for example, update the ticket for video reply. So just make sure that is turned on. Update the ticket for video request. So make sure that it adds the right information and right context. So fairly simple. If you want to get started, really just go on your Zeit dashboard, go on the left integrations, and make sure that you have both Intercom, Zendesk, and the app installed. If let's say this is grayed out, that means you do not have access. So let us know, and just let our support know, or click on the request access button. So instead of a green manage button or enable, it's going to say request access. So this is going to notify our team that we need to enable it on your end. So again, clicking manage, a bunch of different configuration, and this sets it up for your whole organization. So this is really important because it's not every single user has to go and set it up themselves. You can just install the Zendesk app in your instance and just set up the workflow for everybody. So what does it look like in Zendesk? So let's go back to our login issue. Again, this is live. If you have questions, I have the chat right next to me. I would be happy to reply to any questions. So this is Zendesk. Next to the composer view here, we have the Zeit icon. So you can see Zeit Alpha. This is one of our test version. This will just ask you to log in, and then you will be able to see the request video option right here. Once you open the request video option, we prefill automatically the title to be the title of the ticket, and the ticket ID to be the ID of the ticket. This is important just because you want to make sure that it goes back, the reply goes back to the original ticket. Here, I actually did not set up logs collection yet, but it's fairly easy to do. So if I just click on the little message that say to set it up first. So you just have to install this snippet on your website. It works with Google Tag Manager, for example, and you need to set up the page domain of your website. So let's say for us, it's share.zeit.com. I will just write share.zeit.com, and whenever a customer has an issue, that's the page that will open by default. So just save the domain and you are all set. While we're here and we're in a deep dive scenario, we also provide a lot of different settings for the title, the description, and the end of video description. So what that means is here you can see that we set up the title to be the title of the ticket, but there is no message. So it's going to be a generic message from us. But if you want to add some guidance to your users, feel free to set up a default description that says, for example, make sure you open this panel, or make sure you navigate to some place in your app. Again, not much to do. I just open Zeit, click on request video, and then I can just click on request link. This will insert a link here. You can, feel free to rename that link. There's a lot of things that you can do. And you can see here that we have the link that was just posted as an internal note as well. So feel free to write and maybe add some details. You can set that as a macro, for example. So you can add some context. Just send it to your customer. So let's submit it as open. The customer will receive the link, and what they're going to see on their end, so I will share a new tab. This is what they see. So fairly minimal, just a big blue button that says start recording. Again, you can customize the logo, you can customize the URL. So there are a lot of things that you can put to your branding. They can click on start recording, and then you would see right away just record screen, record your video screen. Once that is done, let's do a test. I can add my webcam. I will start the recording. So your customer will just get a countdown. They can start talking about the issue. And then this, if I have the logs enabled, it's going to collect the logs. So if you ask them to reproduce the issue, you will get everything you need. So once you're done, you can click on finish recording as a user and save. So recording is sent. Everything is all set. Now, if I go back to my Zendesk, let me share this tab. All right. If I go back to Zendesk, I can see that immediately I got a user has recorded a video reply here. So this gives me a link to the video, and I can just forward it to my team or review the video. Soon, I mentioned it earlier, but soon we will also add an AI summary of what happened on the video, as well as a link to the logs. Let me know if you have questions for Zendesk. In Intercom, if you use Intercom, it's fairly similar. So if you go to your inbox, once you'll be able to add, let me find, if not, I'll create a new entry. But yeah, the process is similar. Sorry, I think we filtered all the test information, but the process is the same. You're gonna see your chat. You can click on the little lightning bolt or on the sidebar and just search for Zeit, create the request video link, and the process is exactly the same. All right, what's next? So let me share my presentation back. What's next? So as I mentioned, Zeit for Intercom, this should be available really shortly. It's going to be exactly the same feature set. So you will be able to see previous videos that you've created, and you will be able to share request video links with your customers. I mentioned it earlier, but if you want to try any of these integrations and features, feel free to write to sam.hiserot@zeit.com. So maybe I will put this in the chat right here. So he's on the Zeit team, and he can help you get started with a trial. All right. Thank you so much. This was a short webinar, but really focus on a deep dive of all the different features. Let me know if you have any questions. If not, feel free to even send us an email at the email that I provided, and we'll be happy to check, case by case basis, how we can improve your video workflows together. All right. Thank you.